Hello, friends and enemies. It is currently June, so it is the commemorative month for the LGBT plus community worldwide. Yes, I looked it up, and unlike other Pride and Heritage months that are often specific to certain countries and regions, this one is in fact international. As I'm sure many of you know, members of the LGBT plus community have often found refuge in the Goth community since the beginning, and still do to this day, including myself. I bet you didn't know that cacti came in different orientations and genders, did you? I have talked about quite a few bands with members somewhere on the LGBT plus spectrum, but today we are doing something a bit different and not focusing on goth music, but gothicism in general, as we discuss the book Gothic Queer Culture, Marginalized Communities, and the Ghosts of Insidious Trauma by Westengard. Yes, newer followers, in spite of the name of this channel, I do sometimes talk about non-music specific topics and sometimes non-Latin America specific topics. I thought this was relevant not only because it is Pride Month, but because of the debates going on among terminally online goths about what the exact origin of the goth subculture is, and whether or not things like Gothic literature and anything else for which the terms goth or Gothic were used can be seen as the true origin. There are arguments in both directions, but here I think Westengard's book, though the focus is largely narrative media, I think this emphasizes how there is a connection. Before I get any further, please remember to leave a comment, though preferably after you've watched the video, and if you haven't yet, subscribe. This book is separated into chapters that focus in on different topics that intersect to both queerness and gothicism, and focus on different pieces of media and or individuals that display that. It is very much an academic analysis of different concepts, the way they present in media and how it is related to what was going on at the time. As a grad student, I am accustomed to this sort of writing. It isn't really my topic, being a physical science over social science or humanities person in my academic life, but the analysis style is one that I get, and I will say that this is more for someone who wants that sort of analytical discussion. The media topics include Gothic literature, lesbian pulp fiction, and dark performance art, with chapters also focusing on topics of the AIDS crisis and racialized queerness. Now, this book is not very long, but it took me a few months to read because the first few chapters mention a lot of books, and I had read some of them, but not all of them. You don't have to have read all the books or experienced the pieces of media in order to get this book, but it made me want to read them, especially since some were already on my to-read list, so I had to pause to read Castle of Otranto by Horace Walpole, Zafloya by Charlotte Dacley, Melmoth the Wanderer by Charles Maturin, and for one of the modern chapters, City of God by Gil Quadros. That's right, we do have some Latino representation in there, albeit Latino-American, as the media that is discussed is largely US American or European. Oh, and while goth music at large is not discussed, the performance art chapter talks about the one and only Ron Ethy, who I'm sure some of you know as the former boyfriend and performance partner to Roz Williams, though it focuses on his solo performance art, specifically that which makes a statement about his body being one with AIDS. I thought it was interesting the way the book tied together the different concepts in 1700s Gothic literature to mid-century pulp fiction to performance art in more recent decades. When you think about what are the hallmarks of Gothic literature, what do we have? Unsettling locations, aberrant sexuality, traumatic legacies, blasphemy, a fixation on perceived foreignness. These have continued to influence art and media to this day, and I think this book, though its primary focus on literary Gothicism, is still relevant to the goth scene in terms of music because those elements still influence our art. While this book does focus on the influence of and on the LGBT plus community, I think even some cis hetero goths out there might find this book engaging if they're into media analysis. If you want to purchase this book for yourself, I do have links included in the description below, as well as places where you can follow author Laura Westengard. If you want to follow me elsewhere on social media, my link tree is in the description as well. And I would like to use this opportunity to mention that I've been participating in the Read 50 Books in 2026 challenge through my local library, and I even made an Instagram page for that, though I might continue to post this year just to blog books that I've read. If any of you want book recommendations or thoughts on books I've read recently, you can follow me there if you want. If you like this video, please do like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe even share this video with some of your friends who might like it as well. Until next time, bye now. Happy Pride.